Fatso Radio. Hey friends, what's going on? Welcome to Fatso Radio. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? My friends, it's another Friday night, July 9th, and I bring to you another discussion about salt. Yes, about salt. And what am I doing this week and last week and all the other difference. This week's episode is brought to you by Volpe Martial Arts. This week and every week, folks. Volpe Martial Arts is my brother's Kung Fu and Hapkido martial arts school. It's amazing. It's his passion. It's his love. Check it out, volpemartialarts.com. Kung Fu, Hapkido, Chinese, Korean, Fusion, my brother, Canadian. I love you all. Check it out. Episode number, what is this? 127. Woo! 127. Fatso Radio. I love you all. Peace. Lily, take it away. Fatso Radio.
Fatso, the really good podcast show.
Fatso, our very first podcast show.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Fatso Radio. My name is Carlo. What's going on? Ooh, July. What is it? July 10th? Well, no, July 9th. Welcome to Fatso Radio, folks. July 9th, and I hope July is going well for you. It's kind of like our midway through summer. Maybe not really midway through summer. Still beginning parts of summer, but today actually doesn't feel like summer, but it's been a nice relief because it's been really, really hot here the last couple of weeks, but it's like 15 or 16 degrees or 17 degrees right now, so it's a lot different. So welcome to Fatso Radio, folks, and welcome. If it's your first time, welcome. If it's not your first time and you've listened to me or watched this in the past or any of our guests in the past, thank you for coming back. Thank you for joining me again. And thank you for being a listener and a subscriber and someone who shares the love with us, because I appreciate it. Fatso Radio, again, folks, is a podcast, a show dedicated to just me sharing my experiences with a ketogenic diet, a carnivore diet, a weight loss journey, a cancer journey. I forget about that a lot of times, right? But what I'm doing is I'm also trying to stay alive, right? It's not just losing weight or dabbling in meat and smoking some meat and fish and eating all this stuff, but I'm trying to stay alive. And not only trying to stay alive, I'm trying to thrive. And I really feel like this is working for me. I believe it, but more than just belief, I'm testing it. I'm always testing out how does this work for me? And if it needs to be tweaked, it needs to be tweaked. And this is perfect example of what's going on today. So what I want to talk about is last episode I talked about walking and salt, right? And the need for salt and how important salt is and other electrolytes for your body and for your blood volume and just for energy levels and everything. This week I want to talk about what I've been doing this week, and then even the last week a little bit as well, because last week I was walking a lot with work, right? Again, I'm delivering the mail, I'm delivering packages, and last week I experienced leg cramps, as I've been experiencing throughout the last couple of weeks or last couple of months. Even in the winter time, a little bit I experienced it, but definitely I've experienced that when the weather's been hot, and it's just harder to stay hydrated, right? So again, hydration is not just about water. Hydration is about salts and all your electrolytes: sodium, potassium, magnesium, chloride. I'm forgetting some. I don't know. I'm forgetting some. The point is, folks, it's not just simple. It's not simply water. In fact, if you're just drinking water, runners will tell you this, long distance athletes will tell you this, if you're just drinking water, water alone will not replenish your electrolytes, will not give you what you need. The electrolytes are those elements that cause electric charge, and they maintain electric charge and carry electric charge throughout your body. And they are responsible in part for keeping your blood volume full. And that's what you really need, right? You need to have full blood, for all your muscles to work well, all your cells to work well. So last week, again, I was saying, experienced some cramps. I didn't experience the cramps this week because I made some changes. First of all, I picked up some salt pills. I was talking about that, I think, but now I want to get into the details. These salt pills I have, they're little capsules, gel caps, 1 gram of sodium chloride, just standardized sodium chloride, no fancy stuff around it. Sure, the other stuff is great. You can get the pink Himalayan salt and all that other stuff. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to the pharmacy and get just a pill of this sodium chloride, just standardized, right? So it would be nothing else. And I would be able to at least see, narrow down if what I'm doing is right. The best way to test something out is to try and have a pure product, right? Or a pure ingredient to test with. So sodium chloride. I started out by taking it right in the morning, which the first day actually was kind of a little weird on my stomach, I think, but I remember that I had to drink a lot of water and quite a bit of water. So I recommend if you're going to have it on an empty stomach, drink maybe 2 glasses of water. It's sometimes 2 glasses of water itself is enough to make your stomach feel full and weird, but you do definitely want to have a fair amount of water, right? A glass at least anyway. Again, folks, I'm not a doctor, so please talk to your doctor before you do anything, but this is just regular sodium chloride. I went to my pharmacist, asked him for sodium chloride, and I think I talked about this yesterday or last episode, but they kind of chuckled and said, well, most people are asking for water pills to actually shed water, not to retain water. And as I've learned with sodium or sodium chloride, or as I've learned with salt over the years and over my research, that it's not necessarily that great of a water retainer as much as people think. You know, people think that a lot of people think that if you're having too much salt, you'll retain all this water and your ankles will bloat up and your joints will bloat up and it's much more complicated than that. It's not just salt. In fact, it's probably less salt and more sugar that's doing it. And it's funny because last week, as I was experiencing a little bit of those cramps, and I would have some sugar, or drink a sugary drink or something like a Coke or something, which I don't recommend, and I never want to do that. Right? Again, it's not something I try and do, but I was thirsty and I was dehydrated and I needed something to drink and whatever. It hydrated me, but it didn't feel it didn't do what I really needed to do. It didn't actually hydrate me in the proper ways, but it had some of the electrolytes as well in there. So I had, a sugar Gatorade one day, and then I had a Coke the other day. But my point is, this week it's different. This week I'm taking, and when I took the salt pills, the first 3 days of this week, I was in a walking routes. So I was busy walking, and it's a lot of kilometers, right, folks? 10, 15, 20 kilometers. And it was great. It's funny. I started out with a pill in the morning, a salt pill in the morning. And then I took another one around lunchtime, around 11 or 12, I guess. And then I took one more a little bit, like about an hour or two later. And I found that it was good. It definitely prevented cramps. I didn't have the tight calf cramp that I received in the last week, or even the hamstring cramps. The worst cramps that I received when I was walking was basically when you're going up to like a step or going up to a curb or something, just that calf cramp where it kind of locks up and oh my God, if you've ever experienced a calf cramp while you're walking, you'd rather get punched in the face than have a calf cramp or any kind of cramp, muscle cramp. But the salt helped and it was awesome. So I walked a lot this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I walked, and it was great. The salt I drank, the benefit I found with the salt, it's versatile, right? If you don't always want to drink Gatorade, or if you don't want to try and find a Gatorade-like drink, electrolyte drink that doesn't have sugar in it, there are products out there that are great. LMNT, Rob Wolf's company, they're great, but it's really cheap to just buy a salt pill, right? I mean, if you want to be completely honest, which I'm going to be completely honest with you folks, always, the cheapest way is just to have a salt pill. It's definitely a salt, like a heavy salty sweater, I guess that's the term, or a heavy salty excreter. And I see it on my clothes, I see it on my brim of my hat. So I know now that I need to take salt. I need to have more salt, not just in my diet, because I put salt in my food, but also with the salt pills. If I'm walking, and again, it's about walking a long time too, or exercising a long time, or doing something in the heat as well. So I've been walking, like this week, it was 30 degrees for 3 days when I was walking. It rained a couple of times too, but it was really hot, really humid. And when you're walking that long distance, it's not just water. Like I say, always, or like I've been saying the last couple of episodes, it's the electrolytes. And for me, it's just the simplest way is just to say the salts. And I know it's hard sometimes because I've been especially part of that generation that grew up thinking that, or hearing rather, that salt's bad. It's giving you heart disease, or it's giving you high blood pressure, or it's killing your kidneys, or it's giving you those fat ankles, or whatever. No, friends. Sugar is probably doing it all. But so it's good. It's been good this week. Like I said, I've had it in my little fanny pack as I'm walking. my if I had a Gatorade Zero, which no sugar, which still has other shit in it, I'm sure, or I know it does have other shit in it, but but when I just had water, it was great because there was water. It's easy to get water. You can get water anywhere. I asked, there was a guy watering his flower bed the other day, and I walked through, and I was delivering the mail to him. He's like, "Hey, I'll take it." I handed him the mail, and then I handed him. I kind of handed or motioned my water bottle. He says, "Would you like a drink?" I said, "Sure, I'll take a high chlorinated water out of the hose." I mean, hey, that's the antibiotics we grew up with, right? So he filled up a little bit of. I mean, the guy was like 200 years old, and he was like, the water hose was full blast and was filling up the water. So anyway, it was like about a halfway bottle. I drank the water and it was great. And I don't know why I'm telling you this story, but it was just the idea is that you don't need sugar, you don't need a sweet drink or even a drink that has necessarily a salt in it. If you're just going to take a salt pill, now it's probably not. No, it is. I think everybody can probably do it. I mean, it may take a little bit getting used to, maybe harder or a little bit harder on some people's stomach. I think if you're on an empty stomach, it'll probably be a little bit harder. But I think that it's something it's something you could try. If you're a long distance runner, or if you're somebody who does a lot of exercise in the heat, or just anything, where you feel like your electrolytes need to be replenished, definitely think that you should probably recommend that, or at least try that rather. Yeah, so if you do try it, let me know. Again, fatsoradio@gmail.com. Hit me up on the Facebook, send me a link, or send me a comment, or share, and all that. I always do appreciate that. But that's what I'm getting at. So it's, one of the things I always say too is cut the bullshit, and you don't need any of these fancy products. There are great products out there, right? But I just want to kind of drum down the idea that something as simple as sodium chloride you can buy from your pharmacy, or you can buy anywhere, right? You can make your own little capsules if you want, or just grind up your salt, as long as it's a pure salt. And then if you want a pure salt, I like to, because then you know what you're dealing with. But it's a good idea. It was just a good reminder for me that I could, I don't know. It worked. I was happy that it worked, I guess, in a nutshell. And so I was taking one in the morning, I was taking one around lunch, and I was taking one probably 1 hour later. So it's probably 3 grams. So yeah, 3 pills. So 3 grams. I think I was looking at the bottle, and it was around 300 milligrams of sodium per pill. So 3 pills there. What's that? 9 milligrams, 900 milligrams of sodium. That's not much. And even on the higher end, if I was taking 4 pills, which I think one day I did take 4 pills, that's still under your recommended for 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day. Mind you, at the same time, I do want to say that I'm not listening to necessarily the recommended guidelines for anything. I do some things, of course. I'm just joking. But for sodium, I've listened to other recommendations from guys like Rob Wolf, guys, Dr. Dean Nicola Antonio, where they're saying even something like 7 or 8 grams, or not even 10 grams of sodium chloride rather, which is still, but fractionally, a lot less than that. But if you're looking at 300 milligrams of sodium per gram of sodium chloride, it's, you need it, right? You need that. So check it out, try it out. I mean, talk to your doctor if you have any questions, of course. And if you have any concerns, if you have a condition where your sodium levels are absolutely essential, that they can't be fluctuated, or that, it's dangerous, then definitely don't, I wouldn't do this at all. But definitely talk to your doctor if you have an inclination of this, or if you think you might help you. I don't know. I mean, talk to me too. If you're a runner and if you're an athlete that you use this all the time, and maybe I'm just acting like a noob and I'm just experiencing it, right? And and I like it. It's working so far. Later on this week, I was in a truck, so it wasn't as hot. I wasn't walking. I was still moving up and down, jumping and climbing stuff, but I wasn't walking outside in the heat. So that was a little different. I think heat's a really big part of it. In the winter, I found that I still got dehydrated, but not as much. In the heat and the humidity, and yeah, I mean, definitely get dehydrated more, right? And it's hot. So maybe not, I don't know, maybe the extremes are the same, but it definitely felt like I've needed it a lot more this summer, and it's been good. So that's what I'm talking about this week. And again, long walks, folks. As I've been on these long walks, it's given me a lot of time to reflect. I mean, the thing is, as I'm walking, yes, I'm looking at the mail, and yes, I know where I'm going, or I'm making sure that I'm going in the right spot, and I'm making sure I'm going to the right house and all that stuff, and I'm being safe, my surroundings and dogs and all of this stuff. But you really do get to think a lot, and I get to think a lot. And I've just kind of been in the idea, or my headspace, of just being grateful for everything. And I just want to say thanks to everybody for listening. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your likes and your shares and all that stuff. And just thanks for the love and the good wills and the good intentions and the good thoughts that everybody sends. I really appreciate it. And I want you to know that that's what's coming from me as well. It's not just about, hey, do this and maybe you'll lose weight if you want to lose weight, or hey, do this and you can kick those sugar habits or whatever. It's also about just connecting with you, which I hope you're getting that, because that's really all I'm giving you. I'm not an expert in anything. Again, good to remind everybody, I'm not a doctor, but just the human experience, right? It's just me, some dude in his studio, his fancy studio, folks, just spreading the love. And I think that this is what it is. This is the future. Podcasting is not going away, of course. It's not going away for me, I don't think, anyway, unless maybe it's something else I have to do something soon. I don't know. Maybe not soon, but maybe something one of these days. But thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check out our other podcast, my other podcast, and my buddy Desmond, Centerville Voice. It's much different, right? It's political. It's what in news. It's what's in the times, right? Very different than this. But again, with Fatso Radio, it's not just about diet and exercise. It's not just about food and nutrition. It's about just questioning everything. And that's why I feel comfortable doing Centerville Voice. Centerville Voice is a place where we're talking, Des and I are talking about not just politics, but common sense stuff. Left, right, all this stuff is crazy. What I thought was left is not left. What I thought was right is not right. And at the end of the day, I think most people just want the same thing. We want to be, we have our family taken care of, and we want to just provide for our family, really, and just be be in peace and have freedom to live a life. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening to Fatso Radio. I appreciate it. I love you all. Have a great Friday night, July 9th. Whew. Don't forget, Fatso Radio is sponsored by, where's my hat? Volpe Martial Arts, KW's hottest, newest Kung Fu and Hapkido school. My brother, Sifu Adam, brings you his lifelong passion. Check it out, volpemartialarts.com. All right, everybody, I love you. Happy Friday. Peace. Don't forget to do your 20-20-20 or your 1-1-1 or your 2-2-2s or whatever it is. Push-ups, crunches, sit-ups, walks, whatever it is, just get out and do it. Okay, now I'm going. Bye. Let's say bye to everybody. Bye. And we'll say thanks for listening. Say thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.